So you remember that day when we were talking about how neural networks are this huge enigma for most people, right? Today, I decided to tackle this head on. I thought, why not use my coding skills and create something artistic that can show neural networks? Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But guess what? I did it. I made a visual representation of these neural networks, something like a map but with artistic touches. Think Starry Night meets the human brain. Yeah, I know, it sounds like I've gone off the deep end, but it's actually not as wild as it sounds. I shared the idea with Rachel and Sam. Sam, bless his soul, is always so positive and thought it was amazing. And Rachel, well, you know Rachel, she said the idea is super cool. They were all excited to see the finished product, but of course, it's still a work in progress. Anyway, while I was working on it, I had this brilliant idea for a Christmas gift. Imagine giving someone a piece of their brain for Christmas. That would be hilarious and quirky, don't you think? Rachel and Sam seemed to enjoy the idea, and Sam even said his neurons were in a twist, imagining it. Now that's the kind of enthusiasm that gets me even more excited about my projects. And of course they couldn't let me overwork. So we ended up talking about the recent episode of Tech Titans. You should definitely catch it, buddy. Some rad tech innovations there. Just your kind of thing. I won't spoil anything for you, but by the time you're done watching, you're going to wish there were more hours in a day for all the binge watching. Anyway. But enough about art and tech crossovers. Today, I was hit with an incredible idea for our next neural nest project, an AI language app. I know, right? Almost sounds sci-fi. Like something straight out of Star Trek, the idea was born from my current journey of trying to master Mandarin, and let me tell you, it's tough as nails. It struck a chord. If a tech freak like me is grappling with a language, imagine what others might be going through. So, why not devise an AI solution to assist humans overcome these language barriers? Shared the idea with Rachel and Sam, and both were struck by the concept. Sam joked it'll be like a real-time translator on steroids. That one cracked me up. Rachel, as always, hit right at the core. She mentioned how it connects to my global aspirations, and it does. Language can be such a barrier sometimes. Ultimately, the vision is for the software to aid in linguistic transcendence. Yep, exactly like Star Trek. The utility, especially for expats and travelers, could be monumental. It could be a game changer, my friend. But of course, there's a mountain of research and planning ahead. Even though it's a daunting task, I can't help but be super excited about the prospects. Sam and Rachel are just as thrilled. They've agreed to powwow over it during our upcoming Go Night. Rachel is bringing something pastries from Paris. Man, can't wait to beat Sam and taste those pastries. Speaking of food, did I tell you about my latest cooking adventure? I tried out a new galbi jim recipe. You remember galbi jim, right? That Korean braised beef ribs dish I often go on about. I added some secret spices. And voila, it turned out absolutely delicious, even if I do say so myself. Wished you were here to taste it, buddy. And finally, the quintessential dose of today's random shower thoughts. What if all offices had mandatory siestas like in Spain? I swear productivity would soar. Anyways, who am I kidding? No one's letting a workaholic like me have a siesta. Listen, I've been ruminating on this whole memoir thing, more than required, that's for sure. You know me, I'm a software guy, not a writer. But somehow, it's liberating to pen down this journey, the successes, the failures, the coding nights, the coffee breaks, the investment meetings that made me sweat bullets. You remember my first trial in the coding world? That dinky website for Neuron Explorer. Hilarious to think about it now, but hey, we all start somewhere, and retrospect ain't always pretty. I find myself cringing at some of my past decisions. My perfectionist tendencies really surfaced while revisiting them. Rach and Sam loved the idea, though. Sam, that optimistic dude, even said I ought to take a breather, and what better way than to juggle a whole new project, right? And Rachel, she pointed out how this self-reflection could just add more to my stress stack. Classic Rach. On a lighter note, they couldn't let the roast session go. Even my cooking attempts were put on the chopping block. It's not my fault the Sichuan dish turned out to be akin to breathing fire. Those culinary adventures definitely make a colourful splash on the otherwise monotonous startup life canvas. And then, there were the late-night emergency pizza calls in case I burnt my dinner. Well, at least I've successfully moved past that. No more forest fires in my kitchen. And don't even get us started on Sam's caffeine tolerance. Man, I have no idea how he does it. Even writing about all this is just so fulfilling. I mean, weren't we just a bunch of kids with big ideas and zero investment getting high on local pizza? And look at us now, Series A funding and world domination plans. Oh, speaking of ambitious plans, Sam is dragging me for this early morning hike tomorrow. Remember last time when I tripped up and came tumbling down? Best roller coaster ride ever, right? Good thing Rachel's pain au chocolat will be there to soothe the fall wounds, if any. And then there's this one thing nagging at my mind. Like forever. If a fusion dish existed, combining pizza and sushi, would it be a hit or a culinary disaster? Who am I kidding? It'd probably taste as dichotomous as it sounds.